Tonight on the Black Channel, we are discussing the American state of emergency, model minority viruses, and black people's position in this entire fiasco as it unfolds. And might even take your phone calls. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting super fortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media. This is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority, the voice of Black America, and increasingly the voice of sanity. In an ever-insane world, you are here, and we are glad that you have decided to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, I have the opportunity to sit with the brothers and sisters from around the world as we are watching the state of emergency unfold. For those of you who do not know or are unaware, although I don't see how you couldn't be, but some people are just woefully misinformed. There was a virus that yet another virus that has escaped from the confines of China, made its way across the ocean, and has been wreaking havoc here ever since. And that's one of the things that I wanted us to talk about here tonight. Because what you are witnessing is not simply a virus. You are witnessing a very overt attempt by various forces, both inside and outside of black society in America, to reshape the environment, to reshape the landscape, to reshape the world, really. And that's what you're witnessing right now. On your screen here, these are pictures that I took on my own here. I'll go ahead and show that to you right quick. As you all are very much aware, the incredibly uninformed and unintelligent among us, and they are many, rather than going out and doing something sensible, what they've instead attempted to do is they have bought up all the toilet paper, the water, and the stores are complicit in this. So I will go ahead and give you the entire rundown of exactly the situation. This virus, COVID-19, is being seized upon as an opportunity by corporations and politicians to get away with things that under ordinary circumstances they could not get away with. These companies have deliberately refused to enforce limits on how much can be bought because they understand that there is no shortage of anything. This is just an opportunity basically to have a second or third Black Friday of the year or of the season. And they are seizing upon this. These stores could limit these sales, but they understand there is no shortage. This is just an opportunity for them to be able to sell a whole lot more of crap that they wouldn't be selling on a regular day. They don't care if some jackass in Tennessee buys 18,000 bottles and stuffs it all in a storage unit thinking he's going to get rich. They don't care. It's already sold. That's all they care about. Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, Staples, everybody is in on it. These are places that usually sell other things, and then all of a sudden you see them selling toilet paper and paper towels and no limit on anything, because they understand. The companies that make this stuff, they understand it too. James River, Scott, International Paper, they all understand it. This is them using this as their excuse to take profits off the table. Otherwise, they would be just selling the regular amount they've got. So they never get tired. They are greedy as hell is what you're up against. You are witnessing American greed. You're witnessing American greed. That's what you are witnessing here. They are taking advantage of the simple-minded. They are taking advantage of the mentally and emotionally weak. And there are many. I can't tell you how many of the dregs of human society I saw slithering their way like so many snails, leaving a trail of stickiness behind them. I can't tell you how many cooters I saw at the store. I mean, they looked like they had just crawled from under their mobile home. Several of them carrying oxygen with them. It would have been humorous if it wasn't real, but it was real. They looked like they hadn't bathed in several months, forget several days. And I have been seeing an alarming number of hood rats, bushika bears, and grown-ass man babies floating around these places as well, looking like they just crawled out of bed from their 6th or 7th month of unemployment. Chronic unemployment. These are individuals who have the similar hygiene, and let's just be very clear about that. Hood rats and white supremacists have similar views of hygiene. Don't trust somebody who wears a hair weave. That's an individual who doesn't wash their hair. If they don't wash their hair, they also don't wash their behinds. And if they don't wash their hair or their butts, you'd be a fool to think they would do something as exorbitant or elaborate as wash their hands. These are microwave-minded people. They don't cook. If it doesn't come in a box or a bag, they don't know what to do with it. So washing their hands, you go to their houses. If you all want to know about those folks who got those chicks with the nasty rooms on Facebook and whatnot, that's who bought all the toilet paper and the paper towels. Oh yeah, another thing I noticed was missing were paper plates. I noticed the paper plates were gone. How many of you have seen that too? How many of you have noticed the paper plates are missing at these stores? Was I the only one who's seen that? Have the rest of you noticed those are disappearing too? She doesn't cook. She doesn't take a shower. She definitely doesn't do dishes. Then you wonder why it is you're unmarried. Then you wonder why that is. Actually, you don't wonder why it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of you right now saying, oh yeah, you saw that too. So while we're out here talking about these white supremacists and you all have seen their absolutely deplorable hygienical standards, we need to understand that Bushika is the bedwench of the white supremacist, and she also has a similar view of hygiene, of cleanliness, of homekeeping. We can go down the list. But let's just be very clear. If you want to know what the problem is with somebody who's wearing fake hair and fake nails all the time, that means you have not been maintaining your real body underneath all of those accessories. And a bottle of hand sanitizer is not going to replace soap and water. If you don't know how to wash your hair, and if they got a weave on, they don't know how. Then you've got grown men shuffling their feet behind them lost, no leadership, no ability to invoke leadership. And by the way, I want you all to be very, very clear about this. This is not going to last. Oh, don't get me wrong. The corporations would love it if it did, but it ain't going to last. So they got everybody to empty their bank accounts. Did you all notice it happened just in time for tax season? Did you notice that? Just in time for tax season. They got their checks, and now they have given you an alarmist reason to go and dump everything. People, if you didn't have 10 rolls of toilet paper last week, why do you got it today? Because this is like Black Friday. They have created an event that conditions you to want to buy. And even when there's nothing left to buy, you're buying stuff anyway because you see a cause to purchase. It becomes group contagion. You weren't washing your nasty butt last week. And by the way, yes, I know it's the same thing you all saw. The hand sanitizer is gone, but the soap and the rags are still there. They grabbed the hand sanitizer, but they left the soap. They left the deodorant. They left the cough syrup. They left the medicine. They left that. Hand sanitizer cleaned off the shelves, but the soap and water is still sitting there. There's not a run on Irish Spring or Dial right now. Did you notice that? There's not a run on Ivory. There's a run on slapping sanitizer on your hands, which is basically alcohol, but there's not a run on soap and loofahs. Did you notice that? Not a run on that. Oh yeah, the deodorant is fully stocked. Did you notice that too? So Bushika doesn't even have basic survival instincts in this situation. They aren't taught how to clean themselves, so they try to find some chemical to smear on themselves to effectively reverse the defilement they've got on them. I'm not doing this to be nasty. I'm doing this because I want you to understand that this is a battle between the civilized and the savages. Do you understand that? This is a battle between the civilized and the savages. Also, one other thing, has anybody noticed what I noticed? I couldn't help but notice that at several of the stores I went to yesterday, I couldn't help but notice I saw wefts on the ground. Is that just me? Is that just a Louisiana thing? Or have you all noticed, by the way, in the parking lot, am I the only person who saw wefts at 3 stores? I was just driving around to see what the situation looks like. At 3 stores, I saw wefts on the ground. Am I the only one who saw that? Did anyone else see that? Has anybody seen where their fake hair is falling out? Anybody? Anybody saw that at all? Just me? Okay. I'll wait for the wefts. W-E-F-T-S. Wefts. Where they sew in the weaves. The wefts. I saw wefts on the ground. I forgot. Y'all don't speak fluent hood rat. I'm sorry. My mistake. I forgot. Y'all don't speak fluent hood rat. So I said wefts and everybody in the chat room was like, what? What is that? I forgot. Y'all wash your hair. I forgot. Y'all wash your butts. I forgot. I've been chasing this down so long, I forgot who I was speaking to. Please excuse me. I forgot for a moment I'm speaking to Intelligent Black Society. The world has spun so mad for a while, I had forgotten for a moment who I was speaking to. Y'all don't have a damn clue. I'm sewing. What the? Jason, I comb my hair. I don't have to sew in your hair. How do you sew in hair? Now they're going to go to YouTube. Sew in. Oh, my. Got to remember who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the civilized. Had forgotten that for a moment. So anyway, it's several stores. If you all saw what looked like fake hair on the ground, yes, the Bushika Bears is falling out already. Them heifers couldn't make it a week. They couldn't make it a week. Not 1 week. Soap and water has missed you for so long that you don't even know how to maintain your own damn hair. They're telling folk to stay in the house, and Bushika's hair has started falling out. She went to the store and couldn't make it. I've never seen so many fat, sloppy broads walking around in pajamas. You are unprepared for the adult world is what I'm saying. You're unprepared. Oh yeah, and I also never saw so many females walking around with dragging around some dusty, crusty, bum-ass dude with them. You know why? Because you're in the middle of a crisis. Ain't no strong I saw a bunch of females with guys, and I saw a bunch of females with studs. And I'm not talking about stud earrings. I saw a bunch of chicks running around with dudes and running around with studs. They know it could happen any time. They know it. They know it. So they just trying to get them something look like a protector. If they can't find a dude, we'll go find another gal who look like she rough enough to throw them hands. But this is what we're dealing with now. And I know the rest of you have seen it. I know the rest of y'all are seeing exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all have seen it. Have you ever seen so many fat ass hood rats running around with some dude hanging off their arm as you've seen this week? Have you seen that? Yes, I know you've seen it too. And yes, I even ventured to go to a few Family Dollars at the risk of life, limb, and sensibilities. Same thing there. Ain't no strong, independent females anymore. Everybody is trying to man up. Everybody understands they trying to man up now. Amazing. Amazing. After all these years, all it took was one damn weekend to change everything. Amazing. There aren't any strong, independent females this week. Nobody's out here doing it bad by themselves. I saw this one chick, she was walking with this dude. I mean, this dude looked like Shaquille O'Neal. This nigga must have been about 7'3". I came around the corner, he jumped back from me. At a distance, you probably would have thought to yourself, hey, she found one who can help take care of her. Nope. Nope. Just that quick. And a bunch of y'all are finding out these dudes don't really fool with you for real. That's what you're finding out the hard way. But you know who else knows it? Do you know who else knows they don't fool with you for real either? These guys. They know it. They know it. And they've got you right where they want you now. They got you right where they want you. The individuals who made white daddy the father in the home, now you're at their mercy.
silence breakers. They make up the people, mostly women, who've come forward with stories of being sexually harassed or assaulted in the workplace.
People are now worried that men will just say, you know what, these women are bringing lawsuits, let's not hire them. You think that's going to happen?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't imagine that.
Senior men right now are 9 times more likely to hesitate to travel with a woman and 6 times more likely to hesitate to have a work dinner.
But they still make 77 cents for every dollar a man earns.
The claim that women earn less than men for the same work is false.
The question is whether, for those hours for which they're getting paid, is there a difference between men and women?
We don't collect information on our senator.
Will a woman make the same as a man?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
So women, we're more educated now. And
Americans owe more than $1.5 trillion in student loan debt, and women reportedly hold around 2/3 of that debt.
Women hold nearly 2/3 of the outstanding student debt at around $930 billion.
Now, some presidential candidates are proposing solutions to fix the worsening debt problem.
This proposal completely eliminates student debt in this country.
I also found it interesting that 37% of women don't really understand the whole student loan payback system, but men, they understand it a little bit better.
So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
And the irony is that this is Elizabeth Warren, the woman who was getting $300,000 a year for teaching one course.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
The divorce rate in California is how much now?
Statistics said 75%.
So 75%.
Every 13 seconds there's a divorce in this country.
53% of marriages end in divorce.
Second-time marriages end in a divorce rate of 62%. And third-time marriages, 73% failure rate.
Married women are more than twice as likely as married men to take the first step towards divorce.
The average litigated divorce costs $100,000 on each side, and it can take anywhere from 1.5 years to 3 years.
If I said to you there's a 53% chance that we're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would either stay inside or at a minimum you would wear a helmet.
So how do we prevent this?
Never get a marriage license. And if a woman says that she's not going to marry you until you get a license, you know that's not the woman for you.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
You're just too busy hating women.
Like, I'm so offended that you just said that.
Like, don't you care?
I am a nasty woman.
I'm promoting feminism.
Someone who is such a proud misogynist.
Right now, it is time to tear down the patriarchy.
What can men do leaving here? Be better.
We are not here today because of famous arches or famous men. In fact, we're not here because of men at all.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. That the country's declining marriage rate is due to the lack of financially eligible bachelors. Researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who, this is just the reality of it. So women, we're more educated now. We're gonna hold off on the baby making. We're gonna hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one because you're dating down.
I hate that.
What is that? If there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money. Right. Are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
I can do bad by myself.
Left to say. All right, time now. 5:11. Let's.
Here I was, sitting in Los Angeles in my beautiful office of my own late-night talk show. Soon I would be driving my hybrid car to my beautiful f***ing home to
kiss my 2 beautiful and healthy children and my husband who had taken the year off to parent so I could focus on my career. And I have all of this, all of it, because I was allowed bodily autonomy at 15.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
My body, my choice!
What happened? Where did all the men go?
I'll be okay. I don't need no man in my life to make my day.
I think if youngsters take the pill, sexuality will go out of control, and you can forget about love.
I've had 2 abortions. I don't give a f***. It's my body, it's my choice.
I am a nasty woman.
Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do.
If there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
How do you feel about these people here who show up to show their free speech trying to censor you right now?
What's going on, brothers? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang for being in here, being involved and being active here in the live chat. That is there for you brothers to, talk it out, hash it out, make sure that there's no cursing in there. Shout out to James Von Maxwell, the hamster, for being in there with the wrench, and Trojan Magician. And I think Grand Finale is going to come in here in a little bit. Shout out to you brothers for handling the business in there. Everybody keep it clean and above the belt. There's no reason to call anyone names. We're going to talk about today her ace in the hole and why her ace in the hole continues to keep men fractured. All right. We're talking about being fractured here in the so-called manosphere and why that is more problematic than anything else that we have going on right now. Okay, we already know what's going on here in the world, but why men continue to fracture themselves in these little groups in order to, we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why, but we continue to do this and why it is hurting us even in today's times. We're going to break that down today, brothers, so I appreciate each and every one of you in the building today. Let me do this. We got 4 main categories today. We're going to break all of that down. Before we do, hit the like button. The likes are free. Shout out to everybody that's probably sitting at home. You might be doing a quarantine or you might be on lockdown in your city. Shout out to you guys. You might have got a temporary vacation from your job. All right. And you're watching us here. So do me a favor. Let's get more people in the building. And the way you do that is to interact. Hit that like button. The likes are free. Even if you don't agree with this message, go ahead and hit the like button. All right. It's the safest thing to do. Maybe people that you want to have in your side of the argument. Maybe they'll come in if you like the button. All right, hit the like button. All right, let me hit the super chats real quick before we get started in the building. Shout out to my man, John Ellison, with the $50 co-sponsorship. I appreciate it, my brother. He says, Coach, I have been waiting to co-sponsor for a while. I appreciate you, man. He says, thanks for the clarity call. You help me out a lot. You help a lot of men every day. Bros, hit the like, best content on YouTube, and all facts. My divorce is finally final. He's a free agent forever. Thanks, 100. I appreciate you, brother, man. Look, and this is a guy who, got on my Clarity channel. If you guys don't know, that's where I do all of my coaching calls over there. And he got in there. I was able to help him out in the situation, and he's continuing to contribute to me so that I can help other men out here, especially guys that can't sponsor. You might have lost your job because of this situation, but I appreciate that, man. If you do need any help, that's the best way to contact me. I appreciate it. 888 Roger Moore. Shout out to you overseas. I appreciate you for sponsoring, or not sponsoring, for super chatting once again. Jonah Miller says the de-evolution clip needs to be made into its own video so we can make it go viral. It's very powerful. Good idea. Good idea. You know what I'm going to do is do that intro. I'm going to make it separate. All right. So I'll make it separate so you guys can watch it and you can rewatch it without having to watch a live stream all the time. LeWard Moore says free agent lifestyle once again. What's up, guys? What's up, LeWard? I appreciate you, man, for super chatting once again. Drake69 says, thank you, Coach, for the truth bombs. Truck driver here working on restocking America. Living the free agent lifestyle, men. All right, I appreciate it. He says live the free agent lifestyle, and we'll talk about some of these jobs that are continuing to be, they're going to be there. All right, they're going to be there. They have a lot of stability, and we need these men to continue doing what they're doing. I appreciate you for staying out on the road. Chris Johnson, thank you, man. JS Fielder 0417 says, shout out to the Coach Gang. Look, fellas, women are only doing what they can get away with. Once simping stops, so will this nonsense. This town needs an enema. COVID-19 might be the barbarian that gives it. All right, you're right on track of what we're going to talk about today. Great point on that one. Let me do one more. 10 Man down here in the OC. He says, share CGH truth on your social media. No shame. All right, I appreciate you, brother, man. Check this out, guys. I'm here to tell the truth. And many people can't dispute my truth. All right. A lot of people can't align with it. And we're going to talk about the people who don't align with it and potentially why they don't do so. But you cannot tell me that I'm telling you lies out here. I'm telling you the truth of what it is. I tell you, I call it like I see it. I'm able to even predict a lot of things that we talk about here. And as I talk about that, let me get point number one out here. Since I create solutions for you guys, you guys know I wrote The Free Agent Lifestyle right here. This is a book here on Men's Guide to Peace, Quiet, and Freedom. It is certainly an improvement book for you guys. And I wrote De-Evolution to basically as a response to where we're going, all right? And I predicted a lot of that stuff in this content and that content out there on the podcast and here. Most everything that I said, despite the fact that people are in their feelings, despite the fact that people don't want to hear the truth, I call it the way it is. And I provide solutions in there. Now, when I provide the solutions, people say, you don't provide solutions. And I say, I absolutely did provide a solution. I provided a solution that you don't like. I provided a solution that you could not care for, all right? Or you don't want to do. Hey, that's your problem. But today, we're seeing a lot of the things that I said, a lot of the solutions that I told you to do. This is actually evident. You needed to do it. Because you didn't do it, now you're in a position now where you probably don't want to be in today because you didn't want to follow my advice on what you should be doing. But since I'm prognosticating, since I called the college closures, I called that well before it happened. I called the barbarian at the gate. I called correction events, this potential plague. I called it. I called it as a possible way to correct us. I called the Sex in the City. I talked about how Sex in the City has led us astray, how women followed that advice and they went left, and now they're going to be sitting at home with cats and eating cat food. And then sure enough, the creator of the show came out like weeks later and was like, I regret pursuing my career first. Called it. I called people being short on supplies. Remember, I used to tell you, there are going to be women out here when there's a correction event doing monkey double backflip for bottles of water. You can go back 6-8 months for me talking about that. Only to find out that it was toilet paper that they're going to be doing monkey double backflips on. Who knew? Who knew what it would be? Sorry, I called it wrong. It wasn't bottles of water. It was toilet paper. But apparently, here's the deal. Generation X, if you're a Generation Xer, if you were born like, in the early 70s all the way into, maybe the mid 80s, I believe that's when Generation X is. If you're a Generation Xer, we've been through this exercise before. We've been through this, whether you want to say it's a conspiracy exercise, agenda, actual plague or truth, whatever it is, we've been through this. We've been through this through 9/11. We were young adults when 9/11 hit. We were young adults when 2008 housing crash came. We've been through these adjustments before, so it's our time right now. All right? Millennials, Generation Z have no idea about this. They grew up in the snowflake culture where all they were worried about were their emotions and our participation trophy awards. All right? Our Generation X parenthood actually limited them. They're not ready for this. Baby boomers, they're too old to do anything about it at this point. So Generation X, it's your time to lead this charge, but you have to do it with rationality. You can't get into your emotions. So I'm going to give you some suggestions right now of what to expect and how to best beat this potential meltdown of our America as we know it, because that's what's happening. All right. Some of you guys don't realize that your rights are being stripped away by the minute, the more they tell you what to do. But hey, here's what you need to do. You need to make sure you stay mentally sane. Now, if you followed the Free Agent Lifestyle book and I talked about how you self-improve, this whole book is about that. All right. I told you how to stay mentally sane, how to stay away from toxic relationships, but it was more of how can you benefit from society by focusing on yourself. That's what the book was about. It wasn't even about women in there. It was about the truth of benefiting yourself. Today, you have to stay more mentally sane than anything. You have to get your exercise. You have to go outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D. You can't be in toxic relationships right now. You cannot be in toxic relationships right now. And the minute you have got yourself into it, because you didn't want to listen to what I was talking about, now you got yourself in a situation where you're either cohabitating or you're stuck into a long-term relationship now in a situation where you need to protect you and your resources and your mental sanity. You have to do it right now. And if you listen to this was 2 years ago, you would be there. It would be not a problem. You get make sure you stay active, right? We're in the first week of what they call a lockdown, all right? More cities and more states will continue to do this. They're going to lock us down. There's going to be more of your neighbors reporting you to the police like it's Bird Box, all right? They're going to be reporting you the minute you step outside. This is the time that you stay active. You need to stay healthy and stay active. What about this? Look at the jobs right now that are not at risk, all right? The blue-collar jobs, the men are still working. The majority of the women, they're sitting at home having to do what? Oh, I have to figure out how to raise these kids. A lot of these jobs that we thought were stable and the economy was stable, now we're realizing that, they really didn't need you. These were things that I've talked about for a long time. A lot of these corporate jobs, they're fake jobs. They pencil pushing jobs. They're a way to get government resources because they hire people under some quota. It didn't take long, all right? Didn't take long for us to figure out. Now, the longer this goes, the more stable blue-collar physical jobs will stay on board, and then the jobs where you got to sit behind a computer, they're going to go away. So doctors, firefighters, educators, truckers, police officers, delivery people, cashiers for the most part, okay? People that work in sanitation, people that work to keep your water on, electricity going, all right? These people will have jobs for a long time, and the majority of them will be men. This is not a secret, guys. We've been talking about this, and I told you to prepare for this. This is what's coming up. If you're a guy, you were stuck in white-collarville, you might want to start being willing to work with your hands in order to stay alive, because this ain't going away anytime soon. Next week, it's not. And some of you guys that live in certain regions, you guys are about to get snowstorms. Utah got an earthquake, for goodness sake. All right, California might potentially get a natural disaster. Okay, we're going to start seeing floods in some areas. This is the season that comes up. You're going to start seeing this. Now, when this comes, you're going to see really the rubber's going to have to meet the road. Who are we really going to depend on in society? The people that have been doing the real work. So it's time for you guys. Start doubling down on your opportunities. If you've never worked with your hands, you need to figure that out. You need to start figuring out blue-collar work, because white-collar work is going away. Some of you guys, men or women, that have done that type of work, that have relied on those what I called pseudo-welfare jobs. All right, I've called it that, but some of you guys got your little degree in your education. I get it. If you've been doing that, don't be surprised when you come back to work that a robot's sitting there in your desk, okay? These companies will adjust. They will get their government money, they will adjust, and they will find a way to get productivity back. Don't be surprised when there's a robot sitting there in your desk. Even if you're a hardcore labor guy, Don't be surprised if there's a robot right there pushing rivets into the automobile industry right now. Don't be surprised. It's time for you guys to double down on whatever you're doing. Do not get comfortable. The minute you get comfortable, everything's going to change. We're changing by the moment. If you're a content creator, double down on your content. Okay, I'm going to start making more content that you guys can deal with right now. My job is pretty stable. My clients have been very loyal. I've been training a few. We've adjusted some things. So my regular job has been very good. Still been good. All right. They still text me. It's incredible. They're still texting me. What should I be doing right now? So they're really loyal to me. So I don't have a problem. I'm not really worried about losing them over the long term. If you don't have opportunities right now, you need to be finding opportunities. Find your opportunities now, gentlemen. All right. I would be walking around right now with a camera, documenting all the businesses that are closed right now, and then going home and editing it and trying to make content out of it. Let's see what jobs are closed, what jobs are open. Okay. You don't have to interview anybody. You could be outside doing that. That's an essential activity. Do something like that. Figure it out. There's going to be people sitting at home looking for content. It is time for you to double down. Trust me on this one. All right. Trust me on this one. I would do it too, but I can't do everything. Right. And if you don't do it, I'm going to do it. So that's what's going on next, because guys, this is going to stretch out. They're already talking about school districts that were closed for until April 30th. They're already stretching it out to May. All right. Not even going back until May. And it is my thought that we're probably going to miss the school district. The school calendar. That's it. I don't think the kids are going to go back, in my opinion. And if they do, there's going to be so little time left. It's almost going to be pointless to send them back. We potentially might not even go back in August. This is what the potentials are. So you must be ready for it. And we've been telling you guys, get ready. This is coming. This is coming. And people can't deny that I haven't been calling this. This is what the realities are. Let me do this. I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to do some super chats real quick. Mr. Brown says, thanks, coach, for what you're doing. We as black men need your advice. And you know, me as a black man, thank you for your super chat. Me as a black man, I understand that for the vast majority of us, we've been led astray. We've been allowing our community to be led by women. But if you realize right now, that stuff is not going to fly anymore. These individuals will need your protection more than anything else, because the people who are running out of resources first are those people, the poorer people, the people that are in communities that are led by that type of philosophy. They're going to go down first. It's not happening this week, but next week we're going to see people at a breaking point. And I told you guys, by March 31st, we're 2 weeks out. All right, it's Thursday. I didn't cross out my calendar here. But we're probably a week and a half away from a lot of people melting down, just to be honest with you. So be prepared for it.